Welcome to our Successful Events Open course. This is the last lesson in our series. Let's talk about the skills of a successful organizer and how to build your career. Hit thumbs up if you have liked the series so far. In the end, I have a surprise for you who watched the whole course. Hello there everyone! The list of event organizer skills is a never-ending one. If you search for it on the internet, you'll find a lot of different results. There is a truth behind that. Here's what happens. An event organizer must be a very versatile person, or a polymath. You have to know a lot of varied stuff, both to be able to work with a variety of events and situations, and because you deal with people and suppliers of different backgrounds. Decoration, audiovisual, speakers, food and beverages, etc. How many event organizer skills are there? I don't know. It's all due to the characteristics of events. Everything has to be done at the moment. You are not an event organizer if something can be done next week. No, it's for today, right now. The difficulty in prioritization comes right from there. In this lesson, then I will present the 6 event organizer skills that I envision that you need to master. I'm going to get a lot more into soft skills. Only one is technical. To worry about finance or marketing or logistics, it will depend on your career focus and it's not a must for everyone. Let's draw the big picture here. There were a few attempts in creating a body of certifications for event professionals, but the main issue here is how to organize such a diverse group of individuals and categories of events even. A survey with 100 event organizations reported that most event industry professionals are college educated, many with advanced degrees, and that vary widely from sport management to journalism, criminology, and anthropology, with a recent trend toward business management, marketing, personnel, and public relations. There is an organization called the International Festival and Events Association, or IFEA, that offers a certified festival and events executive in which they require 5 years of paid full-time festival or events related industry experience, completion of IFEA seminars, publication and presentations, and case studies. They have developed a knowledge base categorized into 5 domain areas, 49 tasks, and 230 knowledge topics. That's a lot. These areas include strategic event planning process, financial and contract management, facilities and services, logistics, and program. This knowledge base is called the Event Management Book of Knowledge. Ian Buck proposes 5 domains: design, administration, marketing, operation, and risk. These domains are divided into phases, which we discussed already. This results in 35 skills. A survey was conducted with 273 members of the Florida's Festivals and Events Association, composed of practicing professional event managers. They identified 91 event organizer skills to be at least generally important entry-level competencies. So yes, there are a lot of skills generally related to the technical aspects of the event organization. My take here will have a personal undertone to it, but also more closely related to soft skills. The 5 soft skills are the ones I noticed that have helped the people around me the most. Let's dive into it. Personal organization for events. One of the top event organizer skills is organization. You need to know how to handle a lot of information. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to understand the 5S methodology or be an example of a human being waking up at 5 a.m. every day with your to-do list ready since the previous Sunday. No, it's not what this is about. You need to be able to handle the most diverse information at the same time. Know where to find it and not disorganize documents and information. Remember, disorganized information is one of the 2 reasons why your event will go wrong. Avoid this. During the week, before your event and the previous day even more, you will be asked for the most diverse amount of information. You need to have all this information within easy reach in an organized way and be able to keep several files updated. That will be your virtue. You can develop your skill by learning, of course, productivity concepts, understanding how to use the tools properly, and also personal management. Emotional intelligence, being aware of your emotions. An event consists of a lot of problems in a short period of time. A lot of things will go wrong at your events, and it usually comes with good things too, all together. As if that wasn't enough, you have to deal with other people bothered by it, teammates and attendees complaining. And suddenly a sponsor comes to you and you have to pretend that everything is fine. Emotional intelligence is the ability to know what affects you, your mood, and how, to recognize what your current situation is, and to be able to make conscious decisions so that your mood helps you achieve your goals. If you are a normal person, you have many triggers that can cause variations in your mood. Even more if your event is disorganized and within very short deadlines. Here we have two concerns. The first is obviously your sanity. When I lived in São Paulo in 2015 to organize a festival for 15,000 people, it was when I had two realizations. A, that I loved working with events, and B, that event organizers tend to be kind of out of their trees, and I didn't want to become that kind of person. There, I came into contact with a lot of people who were screaming, running from side to side. I never worked in primary schools, but that's how I picture children out during recess. Chaos. This will hurt you in the long run at best. You need to preserve yourself. Of course, when you're young, it is difficult to understand this, but I was 23 years old and I realized that I did not want to live like this. The second concern to encourage you to develop emotional intelligence is that you start to affect others negatively. If you're hurting yourself and you are aware of it, that's fine. It's your decision. The problem starts when you harm people around you. Here's what happens. People who are negatively impacted by the situation with low emotional intelligence start to be rude to other people. Irony and sarcasm without a humorous tone. They become passive-aggressive in the best of situations, if not blatantly offensive. You will end with your team structure, team sense, and culture. Besides, cutting short all pleasure of working, obviously. It is difficult to get into the emotional intelligence merit briefly, but you can start your journey of self-discovery by listing which triggers are more damaging to your moods and moving to a self-analysis from there on to your motives and values. Only then you start to become more aware. Lastly, go to therapy. Resilience, enduring the hardships. Much related to emotional intelligence, we are talking about your ability to deal with problems and diverse situations without being affected. This is very often listed as one of the event organizer's skills in many lists. When a lot of things start happening at the same time, at some point you break. Everyone has a threshold. When you go over this line, you will behave in a different way. Some people start to be stupid with others, some become quiet and isolate themselves, others simply endure it. Your reaction will be different. Emotional intelligence helps you to understand when the situation is nearing. Resilient person has their limits further, more difficult to reach. It is that person who, even though a lot of things are going wrong, they are putting energy into the process, working, they haven't lost their pace. In events, there is a possibility that you will go through difficult periods, even more in larger or challenging events. You can step into the week of your event with 50% of a desired goal for that period, and then you will push yourself to the maximum to make it work, trying new things, wrecking your brains, working non-stop within limits. Obviously, I don't want to praise excessive work here. Cool. You will develop resilience if, along with with your emotional intelligence journey, you can identify when you are close to your breaking points. This is an exercise that you will go through with high stress situations. As these situations happen in your life, you will learn what your triggers are, and most importantly, you need to identify why each situation affects you the way it does. Do you have a very strong sense of justice? Do you value privacy, personal property, novelty? Do you want everyone to feel good, feel free, that they belong? Are you more driven by efficiency? Do you have a keen eye for the customer, for the audience experience? You need to find what you value in life to identify what affects you. Interpersonal skills and negotiation. There is no way you can work a lot with events without dealing with people. You can even do it on a smaller scale, working in logistics or with technical part, but to expand and grow in your career, everyone needs to develop interpersonal competence as part of their event organizer skills, as it has a lot to do with not feeling like it's a waste of time dealing with other people. I will review something. I'm not a person who opens up very easily. I can't connect with people very much on a more personal level. Whoever worked with me knows that. However, I love dealing with people. Those who see me on a daily basis and those who see me at events see two different people. I have a lot of focus on the final goal, so I know that my role there is to deliver the ideal experience for my attendees and my clients, and that I need my team to be well for all this to happen. So I envision a purpose in all of this, and then can be a better person for my team too. At the end of the day, even in a 14-hour event, after it happens, I leave very refreshed, full of energy, still physically and mentally tired, but with a refreshed purpose. You don't have to be a gregarious person, super fluffy. I'm definitely not. And the one who hugs everyone. But you need to treat everyone well, know how to deal with their emotions, and know how you impact their lives. Remember I said that emotional intelligence is about identifying your emotions? Yeah. There is a skill called social awareness, which is this ability to notice how others are behaving and how different situations impact them. It is a little different from empathy. It is an emotional intelligence about others, if I may say so. References and not creativity. In almost all event organizing blogs, you will find some inspiration sessions, articles talking about creativity and the ability to think about different things. I no longer think that all organizers need to be necessarily creative, that is, to have the ability to create these cool things. For me, you can have creativity in the team. A successful event organizer, however, needs to have references, which may be the step number one for creativity. Cool? You need to have sources of inspiration, know what's new, know new ways of doing things, read about technology, attend events, read blogs on the subject, take excellent courses on organizing events. That way, when a subject arises among your team, you can give references to the creative people and they will create from there. Creativity comes from your references and with you coming into contact with areas other than yours. I will even mention that you can, yes, become creative regardless of your background. So start consuming more content. If you're still not having good ideas for your events, maybe you're not passing on your references to your team, or you don't have creative people in it. Technical literacy, dealing with technology. Finally, I don't know if this is an actual event organizer skill, but people need to have a minimum of technical literacy. You need to understand minimally about audiovisual, electrical systems, and event software. Excel, I won't even comment on that, honestly. Technology in marketing maybe, and even understand how websites work. You need to know the basics of each to not be powerless. Here's what happens. It's remarkable how many people just get stuck when they know nothing about those subjects and they don't even know what to do. It doesn't mean that you have to do all of that, but only from there can you talk to and deal with technicians in those areas. You need to know what to demand. For example, how does the lighting works better on the stage to highlight the speakers? How does the audio work from the microphone to loudspeakers into the live broadcast? Or even how the presentation files need to be formatted for the computer to project it onto the screen. There is a lot going on. That way, you will become more complete and able to move up the career ladder. Speaking of career, the event market is not abundant in all cities. I have a blind spot here because I started in a big city in Brazil and I have experience in several capitals. In them, I have seen many people starting their career with volunteer work such as academic centers, junior enterprises, Isaac, and other NGOs. It always has a beginning. I have also seen people starting in the marketing agency industry and taking over the events or even companies that promote networking, since they do events every week. Almost always you start as an event assistant, assisting on the day of the organization, or with secretarial work, making reservations, quotes, budgets, and the like. You can also start with freelance work or on-call work such as accreditation, translation, hostess, promoter, or even logistics assistants. More traditional companies may also have a generally small area of events for internal training, team building events, participation in fairs, and the like. You have to build your event portfolio. There are many opportunities, such as organizing events on your own. There are licenses such as TEDx or Duolingo that allow you to apply and organize the events in your city, no matter the size. I'm a TEDx and Duolingo's licensee myself. I do not want to defend the hype of working in these big cities, but we know that the largest events in various sectors take place there. But if you are not interested in necessarily working at major events, it should not be a concern. In addition, it's important to say that an event planner is not judged by the size of their events. Although that is what most people will comment on when they introduce themselves, including myself, because it's a more obvious way to showcase your ability. But when hired, the company will want to know if you are able to organize the events that they need. It's no use having knowledge of a jazz festival for 15,000 people and not knowing how to organize an educational event. They have very different purposes and setups. But I know, okay, so call me. Cool, did it make sense? I can give you a lot of tips on where to look for job opportunities in all situations, but look for NGOs, volunteer work, or even type events, job opening, and the name of a city on Google and see what you find. You can also search for events happening in your city and see who is behind them. As we say in my hometown, better than that, just twice that. Before we finish this open course, let's review what we saw in this lesson. We saw the 6 event organizer skills that everyone in the industry needs to possess and how to develop each one. Some tips at least. They are personal organization, emotional intelligence, resilience, interpersonal skills, references, and technical literacy. I also talk about career in events, some possibilities for you from now on. So we have finished our free successful events open course. Super sad, but also very happy to have delivered it. I hope it was helpful. We learned a lot in these 10 weeks. At least I felt it was dense. Remember a little bit about the first lessons. The target framework. There are 6 areas that you have to worry about. Team, audience, revenue and costs, goals, eventualities, and timetable. A good event organizer is a versatile person who knows the purpose of their events and goes to great lengths to achieve them. Organizing an event is complex and involves many details, but it's also incredibly fun and rewarding. Don't forget to check out our complete event planning and organization course. While this content has around 2 to 3 hours more or less, the full course has over 5 hours of unique content that you did not find here, which will further deepen your knowledge in organized events. Check it out there, link in the description and of course on my website. Now, the surprise that I mentioned. If you have watched the entire course from the beginning, you can issue a certificate on my website. Go to en.ivanchagas.com.br, link in the description, and look for certifications on the sidebar menu. Just mark the courses as done and do a final test to earn a free certificate. Cool? I hope you enjoyed our experience so far. You can comment on which contents you would like us to elaborate further. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel to follow the lessons. Like this video if you think it has helped you, and share it with your colleagues and coworkers. Always look both ways. See you in the future.